Hey lovers, this is PDH again with Love on Tour, and this is another update being stranded here on the Sun Princess out in Florida. So good morning. It was not a restful night, but we did get quite a bit of information here. Last night our location was quite different than it was this morning. You'll see here we're just really off of Port Everglades, just no more than 5 miles out or so. The captain did come on very early this morning saying that we had an evacuation and they had to heli-lift or evacuate from the helicopter from the top decks this morning, a medical emergency, and then also had a medical emergency that was evacuated by boat. Now, I will have both of those audios at the end of this video. So we came in this close in order to evacuate those patients, those cruisers, to safety, but he did say we were going to then turn around and go back out toward the straits and just kind of lay low out there until the hurricane passes. Now, as you can see by the news, Hurricane Milton is no joke. It is definitely, according to what they're saying, going to hit a Category 5, going up through Tampa. Not quite as south as Fort Lauderdale, at least it seems that way right now, but everything could change. So they still aren't allowing us to dock, but we're literally so close to the dock we can actually feel like we can almost touch it. So we do have those things to contend with. Now, because of the evacuation this morning, they had to evacuate the staterooms on deck 14 and 16, 14 through 16, and 2 and 3. On port side, luckily I'm on deck 14 on starboard side, but they did have to evacuate this morning to accommodate the helicopter coming in just for safety. So that was about 8:30 this morning, maybe a little bit earlier. Now with that, they did have to close the upper decks as well. Now those are back open, but you can also see people are out here down on deck 9 outside of the buffet looking over into the city. Now this was a 16-night transatlantic cruise from Southampton. We will now be on the boat 18 nights and it will essentially be the longest cruise I've ever been on. But people are a little bit restless, just trying to figure things out now. The mood is still very calm. A lot of people are laughing, just kind of looking out the water, just kind of looking at the Fort Lauderdale coast there. But definitely a lot to figure out, and people are trying to do that as well now. I will keep you posted on some additional information as I get it today. If you have loved ones on board, definitely take care of them. In terms of getting in contact with them, they did open up the Wi-Fi for everyone, so they can be in contact with people on shore. But we're so far, we're so close to the shore, I'm sure phone signals are working right now. I haven't tried mine yet, but that is something I'll do today as well.
Completed to helicopter, and the helicopter now on its way to the hospital. And we wish our guest the very best for a full and speedy recovery. One of our nurses has also gone with the helicopter to make sure the patient's fully looked after on the way. Not sure yet as to the procedure for the next 2 evacuations, so we're still dealing with the Coast Guard. You can see the skyline of Port Everglades ahead of the ship. We're just going to be turning the ship around now, staying in this vicinity and slowing down while we wait for instructions on, as I say, the next procedures. Well, apologies for all this disturbance this morning. Those of you who were evacuated from your staterooms can now return. And the ship's company, for the moment, involved in the safety operations for the helicopter can now stand down. Depending on what happens next, whether we need to use a helicopter again or whether it's by boat, we may have to follow these procedures once again. Well, thank you for your patience and understanding this morning, and I'll continue to keep you updated. Thank you. So we have spoken to the Coast Guard again, and we've agreed the next 2 patients will be taken off via fireboat. We're about 5 miles off the entrance to Port Everglades. We're just slowing the ship down. We'll be creating a lee for the fireboat and taking them off in the next few minutes. So no more helicopter operations. The open decks can be used as normal, and also guests, as I said, can go back to their staterooms if you are evacuated, and balconies again can also be used as normal. Thank you once again.
Well, that's it for this episode of Love on Tour. More to come. Remember, it's love above all, love will travel, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.